So I've had this bike for a number of years, and it is the setup from Shiloh. So it's the camp layout. And so let's start with one. First off, you have Rubain, and his stone is an odum. It's a carnelian, also known as ruby. Genesis, creation of heaven and earth, rules of offering, census in the wilderness. Excellency of power, excellency of dignity, shall not excel. Blood is what some people would think of because of related words. 2, you have the little greenhouse. And don't forget the first commandment, no other before me, which is for Ehyan. Don't make carved images to worship. If it's night, Shimon is most likely going to be making carved images inside. Don't enter the council because instruments of cruelty lie within. If you're inside, most likely it's going to be an ancient mindset of Pita, which is that is the chrysolite stone, but it also rhymes with fatten. So if you're inside, you're going to get fattened up. It's like when you have an animal in a barn or something like that. You want to fatten them up because they're your offering. Rested, form the man from the dust. So if you have a man inside, mix him with mud and make him into dust. Make him as dust of the earth. Also, the animals were created. So it's where you're going to, like a farmhouse is where you're going to have your animals. The fine flour offering, which of course will be the showbread. You practice formations inside, and you'll have to cut them with Yaakov, and then scatter them out into Yisrael. Frogs was the second plague. It's like a battle formation. Three is going to be the Levites. And you're not supposed to change the name, but there's a reason why Levi doesn't get an inheritance, because most of the time he won't keep the name. Baraket, and Barak means bless. So normally, if you're blessing, then most likely Levite. Genesis, man, woman, and snake. And it's interesting that the stone was black, white, and red, because you could always think of a man, a woman, and a snake. And Levi's always going to have the peace offerings and stuff like that. And lice was the third plague. So it's it's another battle formation. So the fourth is going to be Yehuda. And it's going to be represented by a carbuncle. And the stone would be a nofech. Nofech was the wave. So you can almost imagine like a chrysalis, and how beautiful waves are in the ocean. And on one side, you have Exodus, which is the little green section. And on the other side, you have Deuteronomy, which reflects back in Cain and Abel. And so Cain might be a bit more like blue and gray. And the sin offering. Because if you're of the world, if you're of the oceans, you might be full of sin. It's tent work. Most of the time, Yehuda is going to be building these houses, boxes, whatever it's going to be. Binding them to the vine, washing garments in wine, enjoying wine. But if you're smart, you try to avoid the wine. Try to avoid the bread. There's nothing wrong with milk, fish and veggies. And it's a gathering of people out there to gather, out there to build business. If it's night, let's go here to 5. That's just all my opinion on here. I could be wrong. The 5th one is honor father and mother. And there's a sapphire. And it's the descendants of Adam. It's in Genesis. So the fifth part of Genesis is our descendants of Adam. You know, guilt offering, purifications, jealousy offerings, bitter waters. You know, shall judge's people be a serpent in the way. 5th plague, livestock. Oh, 4th plague was, I think, the flies. So, the 6 I won't murder is the 6th commandment. And it's like a deer let loose, giving beautiful sayings. Now, it might not necessarily be a diamond, but close to it. I mean, it could be white and brown, could be white. The complete truth, though, that I think is white. And there's Hebrew idioms and words, and definitely not going to be the and for almost 98% of the time, violence of man, righteous Noach built the ark, altar fire, meal offering, Nazarite vow, boils, which is the 6th plague. And there's a lot of deepness to this, and if you're really into the scriptures, you'll figure it out. It didn't take me that long to figure this out. We'll go over here to 7. 7, of course, is God. And don't commit adultery. Echad. Because this is the one that got me. Leshem it's saying the name is actually shame. And it should be in the air we breathe. And that's why the stone was, I'm almost 100% either turquoise or aquamarine. Sky blue. Judges, you know. And what do we, you know, you gather your animals under the ark, you know. Thanksgiving. It's almost like Yehuda in a way, where you're gathering, we're building the houses, and God's gathering in the animals. And and the Thanksgiving offerings. And literally the offerings of tribal leaders. And the seventh plague was fire and hail. And where did the fire and hail come from? From the sky. From the sky. So the eighth one. Remember, don't commit adultery. This is the seventh commandment. But at night, I not be the same. Don't steal. 8. Now, some might say gray is flesh. Some might say people turn a bit blue and gray when they die. The bread shall be fat, royal dainties. Some people say gray is old, like your hair, but your hair can also be like white streaks. So of course these are other truths, and the eighth plague was locusts, and that was sure. 9. Don't bear false witness. And the ninth plague was darkness. So I mean, if you see darkness in purple, run. Now, it's based on the stone, and if you break the wording down, Ach, brother, Lama, and what? A brother in purple. And they listen. Some brothers are fruits, and they have many like a fig tree or a grapevine, many fruits, and hopefully the fruits are sweet and full of water. You let them sit inside too long, they turn from wine into nasty vinegar. You've got Noah blessed, animals given into his hand, he drank wine, got raped. Or maybe he didn't get raped, who knows. The priestly service begins. He blesses. Passover offerings, divine signs, and a strong ass crouching down between two burdens bowed his shoulders to bear and became a servant unto tribute. Issachar. Ten. And I tried to get this stone, I couldn't get it. But I do have an onyx. Seek out marble and Tarshish. So you break down the wording and it gets much deeper. And there's other words that are related, like plans. Like the plan is to seek out marble. What do you want to build a house with? Do you want it beautiful marble, or do you want to literally build it from like mud pots? And shall dwell at the haven of the sea, shall be a haven for ships. Generations of Noah. Nimrod becomes a mighty hunter. Death of Aaron's sons. Do not drink intoxicating wine. The trumpets breaking up the camp. And 1 Kings. So, don't covet is the 10th commandment. So then we're going to go over here to 11. 11. I like 11. People say nothingness. Some people say snake and goat. But 11 seems to me to be the one who runs the show. Ham is the name of the onyx. Tower of Babel built. Tower of Babel. Birth of Avram and Lot. laws of kosher animals, complainers, Sanhedrin. I do gotta admit, there are a lot of complainers in that camp. Um, so I'm not surprised at that. And Second Kings, fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over a wall. Somebody's always going to want some fresh bread, and somebody's got to supply the showbread. Benjamin, just like a whiskey mouth. Ben is definitely going to fight. He's not going to be nice. Called Avraham out at 75, went to Egypt. Pharaoh tried to get a wife. It's like different perspectives. There's quotes from scriptures on this. Human contamination, childbirth. Moshe challenged. Miriam quarantined because of her wildness. And Ben's like a wolf. He during the day and at night. And day begins when the sun goes down. So that is the camp setup. And I do like the I do like Yosef. I might be a bit biased on that. I like Ben. Yehuda, I'm like almost 100% agreement with on stuff. And Rubain has got a lot of good points. And God, he's out there. He's out there. And Zebulun, he is right there by the sea, chilling, ready to go out, looking for that marble, looking for that fish, to be honest. Premium fish. I mean, I'm talking like big bluefins. Anyways, that's just my view on it. And that was Shiloh. I have one from Mount Moshe.